Hey everybody, this is Jewelyn and my grandma.
Hi.
Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another clean with me. So it is Wednesday morning and we're heading to San Diego for the day. If you watch my vlog channel, you know that I go to my dance school 2 Wednesdays a month, and we just got back from Las Vegas. My grandma is going back home to Hawaii sometime before the month ends. So with that being said, I'm trying to have her help me do a bunch of clean with me's. This is how we spend time on the channel. If you watch the channel, we've done a bunch of clean with me's, and we actually did George a while back. But if you watched yesterday's video, you seen that we spent time cleaning our beautiful Hoya Compacta, and I feel like the Hoya Compacta and my big guy George here deserves attention for cleaning at least 4 times a year, because they are really huge plants in my collection and they are very precious to me. So I like to take care of them because they're so big. I feel like they collect more dust and dirt being out here in my patio. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy another clean with me episode with my grandma. She's already going in. We have our spray bottle here, our towels. Now last time we did George's clean with me, we did a little bit of coconut oil and water, and this time we're just gonna go in with a paper towel. We're just gonna wipe front and back, and then the next time I do another clean with me with George, we'll go ahead and do the coconut oil so he can get nice shiny leaves. But this is just like a maintenance thing. When you have a lot of plants in your collection, and especially larger ones, they tend to pick up more dust. So it's just about taking care of them, especially since I've been gone for a handful of weeks. I feel like with me being gone for a couple of weeks, I feel like I just kind of pushed them to the side. So we're gonna clean George first, and then we're gonna clean my other 2 Monsteras. And I guess you can say this is my Monstera Deliciosa collection. We're just gonna go through all 3 Monstera Deliciosas that I have in my collection. And I believe George is always producing some babies, so I have some in the front of my home, but for the most part we're just gonna concentrate on the 3 that are potted. I like to have my hand under the leaf and then wipe down. If you look here, it's dirty from being outdoors. I'm sure like if you had your Monstera indoors, it'll probably collect dust, but being under this big tree, this whole patio gets filled with tons of dust and dirt from the debris of the tree. So I always like to keep him at least up to par. He's the first thing that you kind of see when you come into my collection, so I don't want to neglect him, especially since he's one of my oldest plants in my current collection now. So I like to take good care of him. And Grandma, I forgot to ask you on the channel, do you miss any of your plants back home in Hilo?
Well, I do, but where they are, it's easy for my niece to, water them once a week. Okay. So there's no issue.
And I feel like Hawaii is like nature's best friend. Everything grows good in Hawaii. So it's George's day today, and as you can see, picking up a lot of dirt. Just for a quick wipe down. And also, whenever I do the clean with me videos with my grandma, it gives me a chance to look at every single section of the plant to see the condition of the plant, if there's any bugs, because there's certain types of plants in my collection that'll attract bugs, and I like to at least try to catch it as soon as possible before it just kills and takes the life out of the plant. So, but for the most part, I don't have much of any kind of bug problems, like spider mites or mealybugs. So I'm pretty lucky and fortunate. But for whatever reason, the Sigoniums attract those types of bugs for me. And he's looking real good. Grandma, did you fix him or no? Or was it from when I fixed him up? He looks really good.
Oh, well, I guess from when you did. All I did was take care of the things around him with all these pines falling on
him, yeah. Oh yeah, a lot of dirt on this guy. So just going through George's leaves one at a time. Poor guy. And Grandma actually watered the whole collection in the patio yesterday after we filmed for the channel. So he got watered yesterday, so
he's looking real good.
He's happy. One of my most prized babies. If you keep up with the channel, then you know George won our first annual Planting with Jewelyn Plant Awards, and he's still the reigning king, I think, in the collection. And the Hoya compactus, the reigning queen. Mom calls her Rapunzel because of her long hair.
Oh yeah. That's a nice name.
Okay, this section looks pretty good. How's that side, Grandma?
You getting along?
Okay. So this is a great way to clean your plants. Have somebody to help you. And it's my way of spending time with Grandma. And Grandma spends a lot of time keeping up with the patio, so I definitely appreciate all of her hard work. You see the vlog channel, you know my grandma's always out here. Okay, I feel like if I'm gonna step back behind George, he's gonna like swallow me. It's so big.
It's nice and green and wow.
Very impressed with all of his growth here. I feel like his top leaves get the most dirt on him. I think it's important to take the time out to do little things like this for your plants because they're...
Wow, look at this. So pretty.
I know. These plant babies for me are little investments. I like sharing my journey on the channel. Also, I like giving plant babies as gifts from my collection. So not only are they bringing me happiness, but I can also spread plant love to my friends and family in my circle. And also a lot of you guys have a bunch of plants that you have purchased from my collection. So I try to do my best to take care of all of my plant babies because they are a gift that keeps on giving. If you take good care of them, they'll just keep on producing for you. So I love that a lot. There's some really huge sections back here. But poor Georgie, he needed this wipe down. He's so dirty.
Yeah, under the tree.
Maybe in the future we can figure out where we can move George, but I feel like he has the most real estate to spread his wings here in this part of the patio. But I remember at one point, Grandma, we had him by the, I think, water fountain section.
Yeah.
And the thing about that is that we couldn't see him when you walk into the patio. You would have to turn left. So with him being here, you see him as soon as you walk into the space, and it's just such a lovely way to be greeted. No bugs or anything, Grandma?
I don't see bugs, but a lot of mildew, you know.
So far, so good on my side. We got that one big leaf back here.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
The top one never.
Okay. All right, we're. I'm gonna scooch on over on this side. Grandma's in the jungle. The fenestrations of this top leaf is phenomenal. Oh my goodness. So gorgeous.
Give me a spray.
Okay, got me. Here you go. Wow. Okay, so slowly but surely going through the plant. George is looking pretty healthy. Also, when I'm doing these type of videos for the channel, I like to see if I like the positioning of the plant. Larger plants like George, I like to always see when I'm doing these kinds of videos if he needs to be restaked, if he's not happy, how can I fix him up? Because I have such a large collection, when I take the time out to just focus on one plant, like today, I can see and invest time in him. But I think for the most part, I do have one large stake here. I have another one here, and it's kind of helping him stay up together. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, George was actually a rescue, and he was spewed out super crazy, and I actually have him now for 3 years or so. I think probably maybe 4 years now, and he did not look like this. So it took actually over a year to train him to grow this way. And also this is his second planter. His original planter was slightly smaller than this. I'm trying to think if it's still around. Probably a white planter, of course. If you know me, I love white planters. And then also this planter, I think, is the most expensive planter I have in my collection, and I paid under $25 for this. So if you watch the channel, every single planter that I have in my collection is under $25. I know planters can get really expensive, but I try to not invest too much money into planters because I rather invest my money on plants. And I know I mentioned that before, especially like these plant show potteries where you're going to enter your plants into a plant show. I know you can spend up to like $100 on a small planter. So I am not in that category of plant life where I'm investing a lot of money into handmade pottery for plants. But if that is your type of plant life, then I think my collection would be a lot smaller if I invested a lot of money on planters. But this is how I like to take care of my plants and how I like to style them. Grandma, how's it going?
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so let's bring up our next guy, our next baby. Just making sure everybody looks happy here. Alright, so now that George is taken care of, he looks really, really good. I'm gonna bring up his baby, which I brought a part of him into the collection. So let's bring him up. Here is George's big baby, and we're gonna clean him. This one lives in my studio. If you watch my plant tour for my studio, or if you watch my watering routine, which is like kind of like a plant tour, you see that I have one plant behind my little love seat here, and this is George's baby. I would love to have George in my home, but he's so big, so I just have 2 sections of him in my studio. And this is the largest house plant, I believe, in my studio besides my philodendron panda. So this one is not as dirty as George because he does live indoors, but if you watch my channel, then you know a bunch of my larger houseplants do come outside to get sun and natural lighting while I'm away for a handful of days in the collection. So it is a whole production when it comes to taking care of them or setting them up while I travel and then bringing them back into the home. But all of the houseplants are back inside of the house, so the patio has more space and everybody is happy. But every single leaf, for the most part, of this section of George living inside my studio is doing really good. Beautiful, nice fenestrations. I see like a little baby down here. Grandma, do you see this? It's so cute. There's like 2 little babies down here.
Wow.
So he's happy. I just feel bad because where he's located in the back of my love seat, there's no natural lighting at all. So I get happy for
well, you can
this part of George
for now.
Yeah, he's been out for like a week now, almost a week. So I try to give him some natural lighting in the patio.
Actually not dirty, really. It's just a little dusty.
But yeah, everybody's looking good. Okay. Good to go, Grandma?
Yeah.
Okay, we got one more. This is my smallest Monstera Deliciosa, and believe it or not, I got this particular Monstera from, I want to say Trader Joe's, way over 4 years ago, and it was super small. We're talking like maybe 3 times of like this section, and that was it. And I had kept it in the collection ever since then, and since, I know you guys probably remember this in this particular Monstera in my plant tour. I remember when it gave me its first split, and I was so excited. So there's one fenestrated leaf here, like a half split here. So it's maturing. It's growing up into an adult Monstera. There's another one right here. But for the most part, this is my youngest Monstera, and I've had it for so long, and I love being able to see this thing grow on me. I have it staked up on one of my coco coir poles that I made, and I want to say it's doing good. Now, as far as for plant gifting, I think one of my plant friends has a baby from George Jr. So that's pretty cool that I get to gift parts of my plants away. And I know a bunch of my plant friends has parts of George, and their sections are giving off new leaves and new splits. So that's very fun updates. In fact, I just had like brunch with my friend Evelyn, my Long Beach friend. I don't know if you guys remember, she gave me a bunch of succulent cuttings from her mom's Long Beach house. And when she moved into her apartment, her place that she got with her and her boyfriend, they bought an apartment. It was over a year ago. I had given her a piece of George with no splits, and she just showed me a picture of it last week, over a year later, and it has produced a couple of leaves with splits, and she still enjoys the plant till today. So I was really happy about that, and I told her she needs to send me a picture of it so I can see up close how the plant is doing. But that just makes me happy that over a year later, it's still bringing her place joy, and she's doing really good with that plant. But that's the cool thing about plants. They get to travel and spread love, and it's so cool to see them all across the states with a bunch of you guys. So, Grandma, how's it going here?
Yeah, take that one. Good. This is the last leaf. No, one more.
Yeah, definitely. I like to at least do this for George and my Hoya compacta at least 4 times a year. Again, it's been, what, Grandma, a couple of months since we've taken the time out to do things like this for George. I think we're doing good. Oh, I also want to spin George Jr. around so you can see what he looks like. And in this section, do you guys see he's producing a new leaf? How cool is that? So you can see like the back section of how I have it staked up, and I think it's doing pretty good. Grandma, what do you think?
Love it.
Okay, so that is gonna wrap up today's Clean With Me, hanging out with my grandma, hanging out with my Monstera Deliciosa collection. And if you guys enjoyed seeing George back on the channel, my grandma back on the channel, give this video a big
thumbs up.
If you're new, welcome to the channel. Subscribe for daily uploads between the main channel Monday to Friday and the vlog channel on Saturday and Sunday. You get a video each and every day. And fun fact for the channel, Grandma, today's video is the 699th video on the channel. Tomorrow we are celebrating with 700 videos, which I can't believe I'm saying. So stay tuned for tomorrow's video. I would like to do something fun to celebrate this big milestone for the channel. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. See you guys tomorrow for the 700 video. Until next time, aloha from
Santa Monica,
California. Bye.